So we saw the PL SQL block structure. So the example PL SQL block code. So you can see that there is no header section. So this is an unnamed block, anonymous block. So there is a declare keyword. So that indicates a declaration section. So we have got two number variables declared here. One LNum, that is initialized to 15, and another number variable called LResult is declared. Then the begin keyword, which marks the beginning of execution section. So there are two execution statements. First is LNum, the variable is doubled and assigned to LResult. And then this statement, this putLine function, and this is the package name DBMS output, is a function defined in the Oracle supplied package DBMS output. What this putLine function does is it prints the given string in the debugger output. So what is string that we are printing? We are printing double of 2char LNum is 2char LResult. So this is a string concatenation operator. This 2char function, what it does, a built-in function in Oracle. What it does is it converts a number variable to a character string. So what is actually getting printed is double of 15 is 30 in the debugger output. Okay, we can see it is getting executed in the SQL developer, and then we can come back and discuss stored procedures and functions. Okay. I first clear the debugger output. See, this is the block we discussed. Okay, there are two declaration section, two number variables defined, one initialized 50. In the execution section, that LNum variable is doubled and assigned to LResult, and it is getting printed using putLine function in the debugger output. Let's execute it and see. Okay, now debugger output, see what is getting printed, double of 15 is 30. Okay, then we are going to discuss stored procedure. Stored procedure is also a named PL SQL block. So it is having a definite name. So it can be stored as a schema object in the database and implement business logic of the application. This implements the business logic of the applications. Okay. So it can have input, output, and in-out parameters. Okay. It doesn't have a return type specification, doesn't return anything. Okay. So the only way you can have any output value that is coming from the stored procedure is through output variables. So as a result, it cannot, because it doesn't return anything, it cannot be used as a right hand operand in an assignment statement. Okay. Also, it cannot be used in a select statement. So how a stored procedure is being used? It can only be used as a execution statement or a procedural statement in a PL SQL block. Okay. So you cannot use a stored procedure in a select statement or in an assignment statement. It can only be used as a procedural statement in a PL SQL block. It is main usages, it is used for implementing business logic in the applications. So the main thing is it is stored as a schema object, so you can just send one command so that it gets executed in the database, not that the whole full SQL statements are to be transmitted to the database and work, thereby reducing the network traffic. So the stored procedures, everything, they reduce the network traffic. Stored procedure syntax: create or replace procedure, procedure name, and the parameter list, input, output, and in-out parameter. Then comes the declaration section where you declare your variables and cursors. Then the begin keyword marks the executable section. Then the executable statements come. If you want to handle some exceptions, there are exception handlers in the exception section. So this is how a stored procedure syntax looks. We'll see an example stored procedure. This is called P2 upper, that is converting the input string to a uppercase string. Okay. So create or replace procedure P2 upper. Input string name is PSTR of type varchar2. Then is a declaration section where a local variable called LSTR of varchar2 50 is defined. Then the execution section starts. So you got the first statement in which the input string PSTR is converted to uppercase string and assigned to the local variable. This upper is Oracle's applied built-in function. The result LSTR is getting printed in the debugger output using putLine function. Okay, we'll execute this in the SQL developer and come back. So this is the store procedure. Create or replace P to upper. So where is the input string and there is a local variable defined. The input string is converted to uppercase letter and assigned to local variable, and the result is printed in the debugger output. So when I execute this, what is actually being done? It's not actually getting printed in the debugger output, but a procedure called P to upper is created in the schema. Okay, so let me do. So you see in the procedures there is a function called P to upper that is getting created, or if it is already existing it will get replaced. Okay. So then how do you use this store procedure as a procedural statement in another block? Okay. So this is that block, anonymous block, in which there is a string variable defined in the declaration section, and that is assigned to a lowercase string text school. And then in the executable section, the store procedure P to upper is called as a procedural statement, passing this declared string PSTR. So what will be the expected result? The expected result is this string text school should be printed as uppercase string in the debugger output. Let me execute it. Now we'll see the DBMS output. String input string in uppercase text school. So this is how the store procedure works.